Rod, Brian has a tree down that knocked out his power on college football opening Thursday night. So he will not be with us today, but maybe his power will come on mid-show and he'll be able to join us. Or I'm doing a college football preview show at 4 p.m. Eastern time on our right here on YouTube, beyond the Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channels with our with a new capper co-host, and kind of like I've never worked with this person before, so it's going to be our first run through. So we just figured we'll do like a unannounced, announced, semi-announced, unannounced show type thing, and and go over it that way, and then that way for the weekend, and we're all ready to roll full strength. So I think it's going to be exciting. We got a good slate of college football tonight. There's the main 6 games that we've all looked at and re-looked at and been looking at, and then we got these off the board games as well. But no Brian on the show today. For those of you guys, ladies, power's out. I'm sure it's killing him on opening college football day too.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure it's just killing him.
Few curse words, I think.
Which almost makes it worth it, Which almost
over 20-something trees down in his area.
Yeah, I mean,
he showed me a map that shows trees down everywhere.
Some people do anything to not let me harass them about their crappy picks.
See, look, trees.
Butler has got no power, so I'm going to guess notifications aren't out yet either, but we'll give it a couple seconds here. I'm going to send out a tweet saying that we're on. I've messed up my whole YouTube stuff.
There's no power at the library. So I was like, go to the library. There has to be power at that library for to work at the library. There has to be power at that library for.
That's me getting the link so I can tweet it out. Well, I'm excited about it.
Oh, I'm excited. It's going to be a good day. It's feeling like football weather here, too. It's cold. It dropped to 46 overnight. It's like, oh, it's cold. Here comes winter.
Yeah, we never really experienced that here. It's just not something I mean, it definitely gets chillier at times, things like that, but it's never really like that fall weather like you have in the Midwest and on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All of a sudden, it's like it's like overnight crisp. There it is. You remember in Chicago. I'm sure you've seen some pretty good winters.
Yeah, I plan on never seeing snow again. But give everyone another couple seconds because it is definitely a late arriving crowd today. It's weird because like my computer, it's just one of those days where like my computer's all off center and it's like all my windows are messed up. It's from because I did that video on Sports Chat with Romanelli, so I'm gonna do those with him for a little bit, and then I'll probably phase myself out and move somebody else into that spot. But I thought that was a pretty good one with him and I, so I enjoyed it.
I'll have to check it out. Definitely go check it out.
It's like a role you don't see me in too often, so it's good.
Then I'm definitely gonna have to check it out.
Well, it's kind of like it's like I rarely do videos where it's just heavy hitting stats and talking, straight away, and that's really what it was. And I think that's what a lot of people want to see. So
right.
It was fun to do it, and we'll continue to do it. No notifications. Yeah, that's what I figure. So that's why I'm stalling a little bit, but we'll get rolling in just a couple seconds. Those of you that are joining us late, I'm doing a college football show at 4 p.m. today on our YouTube channel. Got it. Our weekend co-host will be with me, and we'll see what they, exactly. We don't know exactly what they're going to do here, but we'll figure it out. They're going to be a long-term part of Pick Dogs, and they'll be, in Sports Chat Play. So really excited about that. Yeah, I did send the tweet. So those of you that didn't get notifications, if you follow Pick Dogs Twitter channel, I tweet out that we're live. That's a new thing that we started doing. But let's just get rolling right into it. I think it's time, and it's been time. I think we've been waiting long enough for this day, and let's get into today's games. Let's just look at the first three of these college football. We'll just look at the Big Six. If you have other games you want to go over, we can look at those too. But let's look at these first three, and that's Rutgers hosting Temple. The line now at 14.5 in that one. UCF -6 with a total of 68 against Boise. And the other of the first three would be the NC State versus USF. 58.5, 19-point spread on that thing. Rod, do you like any of these three games here?
For me, I no premium that's on any of these three for me. I'm looking at, like we talked about earlier, Rutgers. They were 3-16 last year. Temple was even worse. What were they, 1-6? They were awful, just awful. So I think 14.5. I'll still lay the 14.5. I think they win this by 17 plus over Temple. It's the only one I like in that one out of those three.
Yeah, I mean, Rutgers, they started the season. I thought they were pretty much improved. They had the win at Maryland. They beat Purdue, and they beat Michigan State, which was a lousy Michigan State team last year. Their losses, Ohio State, a very good Indiana team. They lost by 3 at Illinois. They were 5.5-point favorites in that game, though. And the loss at Penn State, 23-7. The win over Maryland was overtime, and then they lost it at home against Nebraska to end the season. Definitely an interesting thing. They have a lot of returning players, but Temple was the last team to start a game last year. They didn't play until the middle of October. And it wasn't because the season was delayed for them. It was because their games just got canceled over and over and over again. Kind of like the Mets, right? It's kind of like the Mets where they just, they're ready to take the field and then every game is canceled. So I think that one is going to be interesting. And I think, the Boise UCF game has a lot of interesting angles to it too, because you have two head coaches that are there for the first time at these schools. Avalos at Boise takes over, his predecessor moves over to Auburn. And then UCF, ironically, has Auburn's old head coach, Gus Malzahn, taking over. For me, I'm seeing UCF in the line rising here. I think we it's early. The difference between football and baseball is some of these money moves that Brian always alludes to really have had time to marinate. And by the time you get to game day, and the closer you get to game time, these money and line movements, and you see significant money on the spread here on UCF, and the spread moving up in conjunction with it. But it's also a big number of bets. It's not like it's 20% of the bets and 80% of the money. It's 75% of the bets and 83% of the money on the spread. On the money line, 91% of the money on UCF here. So just a tremendous amount of pressure there on the line. And then ECU against App State. Did we go to that one? It was at those three, 1, 2, and then we did NC State and USF. I think this one, the total to me looks pretty attractive at 58.5. I think this thing could go over. It's like I generally 58.5, not usually a number that I'm running to the window to bet, but I think this one has a serious chance to be over by halftime. It's like NC State is the type of team that at home they rip off those long runs, those long plays, and they have a lot of athletes on this team. So, USF hasn't shown us much in recent years, but we saw them stand up to Cincinnati at Cincinnati last year, losing by 20, getting 21. But that wouldn't get it done here. So saying the Rutgers game is canceled.
Really?
Is what Someone's commenting here.
Doesn't show that anywhere for me.
I think we've cut Brian some slack. I don't understand where we haven't. I think we kind of did the show without him, and hope we try to get him on later on. I don't understand the comment there.
He said, "I'll try. Hopefully, I can be back this afternoon."
Yeah, it's like, so I don't understand this comment. Cut the man some slack. I thought we did cut Brian's slack. I don't understand how we didn't. So, anyways, that would be crappy if that Rutgers game was canceled.
I'm not showing that.
I'm gonna guess it is if someone's saying, yeah. Now I'm hearing it again. The Rutgers game is postponed. Well, that sucks.
That does.
I had a premium on Rutgers in that one. Oh, it's moved to Saturday. Well, so it doesn't matter. They're all gonna. I think I think for people that have plays in that game, I won't grade them, so no one will get to see what they had. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe I can move the game day on.
Can you just move the date?
I can, but if people have included it in packages, then it's a problem.
Oh, yeah, right.
We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, then you gotta, that's. You have a replacement for that one.
It's okay. Well, that game is postponed, so just 5 games today. Hopefully these guys make it. We'll go to the next set of games. We've got Tennessee and Bowling Green. This one's an interesting one as well. We've got Ohio State and Minnesota. I know Brian has strong opinions about that game, so hopefully he's able to join us later on. And the other game, ECU and App State. Rod, you see anything on these 3?
And for me, I like Ohio State in that one. I know their defense wasn't the greatest last year. They were pretty bad. Coombs was definitely not good in his first year as defensive coordinator there. But I think they're improved. I think they can improve their pass rush. Big thing here with Minnesota is you got to stop Ibrahim. If you can stop Ibrahim, that's what they're going to do. With the Gophers, and there's no surprise on I think what they're going to do. They're going to hand him the ball and watch him run. You can slow him down. I think Ohio State can score enough on their own. He's 23-2 in his 3 years at Ohio State. I'm going to go with Ohio State in that one. I think they get the win handily in that one.
I think on these. Go ahead.
And Tennessee. I don't know. Tennessee wasn't very good last year. I think 35 is a whole lot to ask on a Tennessee team. I think you could see Bowling Green get a backdoor in that one. Be like.
Yeah, I don't
just get under the number. That I think 35 is too many.
I think to me it looks like it's just enough if you've got Bowling Green, and I think that's what I'm going to do is take Bowling Green in that one. I think I haven't been impressed by Tennessee in years. I know they're going to be the bigger, faster, more talented team. We know that, but 35 is a ton. I don't know. It could go either way. It's certainly not one I'm rushing to the window, but one that I do like that's an off-the-board game here is this Eastern Washington against UNLV game. I think Eastern Washington beats them. I do. I think they're the better team. I think, Eastern Washington could probably play at the FBS level and be a decent team. We see teams come up from FCS to FBS, and Eastern Washington is one of these teams that's traditionally very good. And I would look for them to knock off UNLV tonight. It's odd when you see an FCS, FBS game that's just a pick 'em, and then this game moved to UNLV minus a point. But I still see Eastern Washington getting it done in this one. So that's going to be my off-the-board upset game for tonight. Rod, what are you selling tonight?
For an off the board one, I like Citadel here plus the 35 points. I think that's too many as well. Coastal Carolina, we've seen what they did, and I think they do the same thing and win the Sun Belt again. But how are they going to run the ball without C.J. Marble? Well, you got a few question marks. And then you got to hope that Grayson McCall stays healthy. Otherwise, behind him, it doesn't look good for your back on quarterbacks there. But And Citadel's one of them, grind it out. They run the ball, grind the clock, and cover 35 points. I don't know. I think we're looking at the same thing like the Tennessee game. I think that's too many. Give me Citadel plus the 35 points there. And then for me, it's I got a Thursday 2+1. I'm excited for football. I've got 2 college football best bets, 1 MLB Diamond Crusher. These are my 3 best bets. We're gonna crush the book and cash in. Or if you want, grab my 3-day pass because I've already loaded in college football for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Locked and loaded. Those are probably your best deal there. Grab a 3-day pass and you get all the college football plays for this upcoming weekend.
I have, my college football season pass. I had a pick in that Rutgers Temple game, so I took my package off for sale. I'm going to replace it with another game. I had one that I really liked anyway, and I'm going to add that one. It was really this was one that was going to be there anyway, so it was kind of like it was my last one to not make the cut. So I'm going to put that one there. But like I said, at 4 p.m. today, we're going to do a college football show. And it's going to be me with a new person here at Pick Dogs. I think you're really going to like them. And I hope you do. Well, I know you will. And this will be...
I think you guys are going to get really excited as well.
Yeah, I think it's always good to get some fresh blood in here. And it's always good to mix things up a little bit. And you're still going to get the same people. So the way like Saturday show is going to work is instead of like Rod and Brian and I sitting here with Ron, I'm going to start off and I want Joe D'Amico is going to be our first guest because Joe's like electric. It could be kind of like the party starter. I'm going to have him on first and he's going to talk a little bit about, what Vegas is like this year, for college football opening day as opposed to, some of the other years. And then, maybe some quick betting tips and, he'll probably give a pick or something. And then, they'll, instead of me just sitting here talking, right, for the first 5 minutes, I'll have Joe. And then, we'll bring in Rod, Ron, and Brian one by one, and they'll each cover a segment of games from throughout the day. And then they'll be able to allude into the other segments, but their primary focus will be their time block. So basically, it'll be the same amount of them speaking, the same amount of picks that they give. It'll just be boom, boom, boom. It's just a better format. This way, it's not kind of like, I don't like anyone in this, slot. I don't do this, whatever. Yeah, we all know about the Rutgers game. It's kind of out there at this point, right? It's like, we're all good, but we appreciate it. Anyways, so we're going to head over to Major League Baseball. So hopefully we'll get Brian with us on that late show today. We didn't originally plan on having him with us there on it, but maybe we will. And if not, we were going to do the VIP early, but I guess we'll do it later. Because Brian did send me a pick, so we'll have to figure this out. I'm not really sure how we're going to do it. I guess we'll try it at 5:30 Eastern time. There's really not going to be a lot of games, is there? We'll make it work. We'll just make it work. We always do. But let's go to Major League Baseball. It's a short card today.
It works for me.
Well, it's not what I was planning on doing, and
no, I know.
Brian doesn't.
It does work for me. All my picks were all later, so
yeah, Brian doesn't know.
That's just how it worked out today.
Brian didn't know
all my VIP are later.
He didn't understand. He didn't know that. So tonight we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Major League Baseball games. So we got 3 day games, 5 night games. So we should have enough to work with, with college football, and then some of those other, off the board games. I'll just dig a little deeper into those too. But for the day games, we got the Nationals and the Phillies. I guess that game's going to be, I don't know, is it postponed again? I don't know.
I'd stay away from it. We still got TBD and TBD. I don't see anybody.
That's what I'm seeing there. But I saw earlier there was stuff listed. Originally it was Nola and Espino.
Mm-hmm.
Like just yesterday's pitchers put back into
Yeah.
today. So there's that one. Then there's Oakland, Detroit, and the Giants trying to at least grab a win here from the Brewers. It kind of the wheels fell off the cart there yesterday. That was a rough day for the Giants as things fell apart. It was a rough day for me too. I'll tell you that much. Not a fun one. Happens.
No. How those days? Another 1 and 2. I'm on these 1 and 2 blips. It's like, holy man, 1 and 2, 1 and 2.
So you get you can join the VIP YouTube. There's a link in the description of every video. There's a link on the YouTube site. So if you go to any of the videos that you see that I do every day, if you go in there in the description of the video, there's a link and it says get our YouTube premium, and then you have the choice of the premium or the VIP when you get to there. So that's how you do it. But if you want our premium, like my premium packages and premium picks and everyone else's, those are at pickdogs.com under the premium picks tab.
And for me in that one, I like Oakland here. Frankie Montas is in his last 2 starts. He's pitched. He's given up 0 earned runs in his last 14 innings of work. Give me Oakland on the run line in that one. They got a bounce back win over. Given that lead up, they were up 6-3 in that one and let Detroit come roaring back and lost that one yesterday. I think Oakland gets the win in that one today. And the other day game, I like the over in Milwaukee and the Giants today. Eric Lauer and Logan Webb. I think we just went under yesterday. I think we get the over today. I think we see a few more runs in this day game. Give me the over, Brewers, Giants.
I like the Giants in that one against the Brewers. I think they salvage a win here. Really, I mean, yesterday it was a tight game. They had their chances, but couldn't get it done. I also like the A's against the Tigers. I just think they're the better team here. And I look for them to get the win. We go to the late games. We got the Marlins and the Mets. We've got the Rays and the Red Sox. And the Cubs and the Pirates. Any of those?
For me, I hear Carlos Carrasco, and I'm like, oh, I'll take the other side of that one. Give me the Marlins in that one over the Mets. Carlos Carrasco has not been good. I can't believe he still has a job. I'll take TBD with the Marlins and over the Mets in that one.
Yeah,
the only one I like.
I'm with you there. I think you got to go against Carrasco and also to the over. I also like the Rays here against the Red Sox. They lost one last night that they had, and I think they bounced back here against Rodriguez as well. We go to Kansas City hosting Cleveland. Mike Minor against Tristan McKenzie. And then you got the Braves and the Rockies. Chi-Chi's on the mound here.
Right. It's like, I was like, oh, the Rockies are in a good spot to get a win here. And then I'm like, oh, Chi-Chi. But you know what? I'm going to take Chi-Chi Gonzalez on the Rockies. That's a tough travel spot after playing the Dodgers and then have to fly to Colorado. I'll take the Rockies at home. They've still been solid at home, 43-22. Give me the Rockies in that one, and I'll take the Royals. Minor was supposed to pitch yesterday, and now he's been moved to this spot. Indians got the win yesterday. I think Royals definitely had plenty of chances to win that game and blow it open. So I think they get the win here today. Give me the Royals and the Rockies.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to have to go the other way in that one. I'm going to have to go with McKenzie. He's been straight fire. I know they moved Minor into this spot, but I just think that McKenzie's just been so good. And it's like he's one of those guys that's always had this kind of stuff. It's now they've been able to harness it. And the Braves against the Rockies, this is a mismatch for sure. With Chi-Chi.
Oh, Chi-Chi.
Yes. Anyways, those of you that joined us late, Brian had power outage, part of that weather in the Philly area, why the Rutgers game is canceled today or postponed until Saturday. So he hopefully will be with me this afternoon. I'm doing a college football show, a late college football show, with someone who's just joining us for the first time today, and will be a permanent fixture here. And I'm really excited to introduce them to y'all. They'll be with me on the weekends as we change the style of the weekend shows a little bit. At least Saturday we're going to change this week, and then probably next week we'll change Sunday. We're going to have to. It'll be a work in progress, like everything. We'll see what works and see what
Yeah.
It's I imagine it's going to be a little choppy at first. So, all right, you got a parlay today?
Yeah, for me, parlay today, we're going to go with Oakland on the money line, the Marlins on the money line, and Ohio State minus the points.
I'm going to take I'll take Oakland, the Oakland A's, the Giants, and the Marlins. 3-team parlay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day. Hopefully, Brian's back later. And if not, I'll see everyone at 4 p.m. Eastern time right here on our YouTube channel. I think you guys are, it's kind of like I said, be nice. It's going to be our first run through. I know you guys can be pretty, I don't know. You guys know. You guys know yourselves.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking to. I'm not going to mention any names because you know who you are. Anyways, have a great day. Let's make it a winning day. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow, and I'll see you guys at 4 p.m.